Today on Public Eye News, did NMU break the world record for the largest freeze tag game? Which Michigan companies are creating jobs? All of this and more is coming up.
We'll also be joined by weatherman Dan Kampanen, who has the rest of this weekend's forecast, and sports anchor Jacob Oji, who has an update on North Central's history-making season. Hi, I'm Todd Rose.
And I'm Charles Owsley. Welcome to Public Eye News. NBC's Today weatherman Al Roker assisted 634 NMU students break the Guinness World Record for the largest game of freeze tag this morning. Students arrived at the Superior Dome just before 5 a.m. to participate in the game. The official game started just after 8:21 a.m. and after 15 minutes of play, a representative from the Guinness World Records confirmed the break. Thomas's school in London, who had 438 players back in 2015, previously held the record. And just as NMU was preparing to beat a world record, down here at Public Eye News, we were preparing for a special visit of our own. Preparations began earlier than usual yesterday as we awaited our special guest, Al Roker, to arrive. We greeted Mr. Roker with smiles, cheers, and a sign. Producer Dane Wormlinger led him down to the studio to give him a tour, his crew, our crew, and other local news crews in tow. Roker gazed upon the unusual chaos that was brought into our studio, but the excitement from his presence was shared by all. Before bustling off to his next activity, he gave some advice to our anchors and our weatherman, reminding them to tap their papers between each break, just like professionals do.
A meeting was held Monday by the Marquette City Commission concerning the former Cliffs Dow site. The site, which holds quite a bit of history, ceased operations in 1969, and the city of Marquette purchased the site in 1997, hoping to redevelop it. But the soil and groundwater at the site are both contaminated. The city is now going to submit a mixing zone request to the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality to ensure the compliance of environmental regulations. Richard Barron, a special outside counsel to the city of Marquette, gave a presentation at the event and said, quote, "The purpose of the mixing zone determination is to allow the DEQ to issue some permit levels or standards that the city would need to meet for any discharges coming off of that site," end quote. And a 21-year-old has been charged with the killing of his grandmother. Jacob Floyd St. Andrew, who confessed to the murder when interviewed by police, is charged with first-degree premeditated homicide. St. Andrew apparently informed a local police department that he had a deceased relative in St. Ignace. Officers, once gaining access to the residence, discovered the body of a 66-year-old woman. According to the officers, it was apparent that the death was not from natural causes. The St. Ignace Police Department said St. Andrew got into an argument with his grandmother, Barbara Traynor Hoyt, before choking her to death. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for April 11th.
Ford Motor Company announced today that it will be spending $1.2 billion to upgrade and expand its capacity to Michigan. According to the company, the improvements will strengthen the company's leadership as a truck and SUV dealer and support the extension to an auto and mobility company. The news follows an announcement in January that said Ford would invest $700 million into its Flat Rock assembly plant, adding 700 jobs. The company has now announced a total of $1.9 billion in new investments in the state just this year. 2 dairy processing plants will receive a $2.4 million grant from the state to upgrade their wastewater treatment operations. The Michigan Strategic Fund says the money will allow Fairlife LLC and Continental Dairy Facilities to expand production, creating 52 new jobs. Fairlife is owned by Select Milk Producers and the Coca-Cola Company and currently provides 196 jobs. The company produced Fairlife Milk, Core Power Energy Drink, and Dunkin' Donuts Iced Coffee Drink. A plant engineer says this grant will pave the way for long-term investment and job creation in Western Michigan. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
Yosemite is natural beauty on a grand scale.
There's absolutely magic in that valley.
From the world's most famous vertical wall to its largest living trees.
Over 3,000 years, think of what a giant sequoia has seen.
But the climate is changing, and America's most iconic national park may change with it.
Wednesday at 8 after PBS NewsHour on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. Shouts of the word fire woke residents in an Oakland, California home in the dark hours of Monday morning at a home that housed around 80 recovering drug addicts and former homeless people. By the time the home was reduced to smolders, 3 people lost their lives. Now, one day later, it is coming out that multiple violations were found in the building just days before the fatal blaze. An inspection last Friday revealed that the building lacked fire extinguishers, a fully functional sprinkler system, along with not every apartment having a smoke detector. The owner of the building was told to immediately service the fire alarm and sprinkler systems, but the warnings may have come just too late. And a manhunt is underway for the gunman responsible for an ambush-style attack overnight on 2 Florida police officers. Bullet holes riddled the windshield of the car where the plainclothes officers were sitting at the time of the attack. Manuel Bojorquez reports from Jackson Memorial Hospital Trauma Center, where the men were being treated.
We have 2 officers shot. We have 2 officers shot.
This video, shot from outside the hospital, shows a black Ford pickup truck racing toward the emergency room, with the 2 injured Miami-Dade police officers in the bed. The undercover officers, who were operating as part of the Homicide Task Force's gang unit, were conducting surveillance inside an unmarked car in a notoriously gang-ridden area when officials say they were targeted.
The end result of that, their operation was that they were apparently shot in an ambush-style attack.
One of the Miami-Dade officers was able to return fire, but authorities are not confident the suspected attacker was hit.
It's certainly trying moments for us all. We got lucky tonight that the officers will survive.
Police have yet to make any arrests, but last night, the director of the Miami-Dade Police Department pleaded with the community for help in identifying the shooter.
We need you now to step up to the plate. These are the people that are causing that havoc in our community, and we're not going to stop. This isn't going to deter us from doing our jobs. This is going to ignite a bigger fire within us to protect our citizens.
The officers' injuries are not life-threatening. Police say it's unclear whether the suspects knew they were targeting police. Either way, they are clearly dangerous, and right now police are still searching the area where the shooting happened. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, Miami.
According to Amnesty International, the U.S.-led coalition is not taking proper precautions to defend civilians in Mosul as Iraqi forces battle ISIS. This accusation comes after the U.S. military acknowledged they carried out an airstrike on March 17th in Mosul that resulted in the death of at least 100 civilians. The report by Amnesty also called out a second strike on Saturday, March 25th, that killed up to 150 people. According to U.S. Army Chief of Staff General Mark A. Milley, the exact cause of the March 17th explosion was unknown, but that, quote, some degree of certainty will be known in the coming days following the investigation, end quote. Initial investigations by the Iraqi Defense Ministry claim that the airstrike hit a tanker truck laden with explosives. The ensuing explosion damaged several buildings, including one with 130 civilian hostages in addition to IS snipers. Pressure is building on the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee to step aside from an investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. Craig Boswell has the latest from Capitol Hill.
The chairman of the House Intelligence Committee says he's moving forward with the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election, despite growing concern he's lost credibility.
Are you going to stay as chairman and run this investigation?
Well, why would I not?
Republican Devin Nunes acknowledges he met with an unnamed source on White House grounds last Tuesday, a day before taking the information he learned to the president.
There was no sneaking around. I walked onto the ground, said hi to people.
Nunes says he saw evidence agencies under the Obama administration intercepted communications involving members of the Trump transition team, but dismissed President Trump's allegations that President Obama wiretapped Trump Tower. Other members of the House Intelligence Committee have not seen this classified evidence, and Democrats want Nunes to recuse himself from the investigation.
Given his role in the transition team and the events of the past week, it just has too much called into question whether he has the objectivity necessary to oversee this investigation.
Senator John McCain says Nunes has more explaining to do. There must be a bipartisan approach.
This is a very serious issue. It all started with Russian interference, attempt to change the outcome of our election.
House Speaker Paul Ryan says he has full confidence in Nunes. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And stay tuned, because after this short break, we'll be back with your weather and sports.
on Secrets of the Dead, ancient Rome's glittering resort town.
Caesar, Cicero, Nero, all of these men had villas at Baiae.
But the town had a dark side.
Mere mention of Baiae brought to mind scandal.
Did he really murder his aunt for the villa?
Nero's sunken city on Secrets of the Dead.
Wednesday at 10 after Nova on Public TV 13.
Welcome back to your Public Eye News. I'm Dan Campanen, and as you can see outside on the campus of Northern Michigan University today, it is a beautiful, wonderful, splendid day. Be sure to get out there after this broadcast. Currently, it's partly cloudy with a temperature of 47 degrees, winds out of the north at 6 miles an hour, and a barometric pressure of 30.22 inches and rising. Tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies, a low of 28, and winds out of the north-northwest at 6 miles an hour. And tomorrow, expect mostly cloudy skies, a high of 36, and winds out of the northeast at 8 miles an hour. Looking around the Upper Peninsula right now, it is cloudy in both Sault Ste. Marie and Manistee, 43 and 41 respectively. It is 43 and sunny in Escanaba, 38 and mostly sunny in Menominee, 53 and sunny in Iron Mountain, 55 and mostly sunny in Ironwood, 48 mostly sunny in Houghton, and back here in Marquette, it's 47 degrees right now. Let's take a look at your next 3 days. On Thursday, expect a high of 40, a low of 29, and some showers at night. On Friday, expect a high of 41, a low of 31, and partly cloudy skies. And on Saturday, expect a high of 49, a low of 34, and mostly cloudy skies. Well, Jake, it looks like our weekend is shaping up to be a good one. But I hear an Upper Peninsula basketball team had a better previous weekend.
They just keep on winning, Dan.
Good for them.
The North Central Jets continued to make history on Saturday when they won their third straight state title and their 83rd consecutive win, the longest winning streak in the nation. They defeated Buckley 78-69 for the Class D state championship at the Breslin Center at Michigan State University. The senior class has a 108-1 record at the varsity level. The Jets have gone undefeated in basketball and 8-man football over the past 3 seasons. The Red Wings are on the brink of missing the playoffs for the first time since 1990. The Red Wings with 74 points are 12 points back of the Boston Bruins, who have 84 for the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. And if the Red Wings do miss postseason play, that means the final game for Joe Louis Arena will be Sunday, April 9th, to close out the regular season against New Jersey. The Wings will be in action tonight once again against Carolina, facing off against the Hurricanes with a puck drop at 7 o'clock. You can watch it on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. And the Raiders are leaving the city of Oakland for the second time. NFL owners voted 31-1 yesterday to approve relocation to Las Vegas for the Raiders. Raiders previously left Oakland for Los Angeles in 1982, but returned in 1995. It would be the first time an NFL franchise would come to Las Vegas, or the state of Nevada for that matter. The Raiders are scheduled to play the 2017 and 2018 seasons in Oakland. The new stadium in Las Vegas is set to open in 2020. Well, that's big news definitely for Raiders fans. It's, the second franchise here in a couple of years in that California region to either move away or to the area?
Yeah, and the Golden State Warriors are moving across the bridge to San Francisco, so it's a little tough for the fans in Oakland right now.
Yeah, will their allegiances lie with the team or with the city?
I think it'll stay with the Raiders.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Make sure to join us for all your news and more tomorrow on Public Eye News.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.